and welcome to round 8 here with Apex Online Racing Season 9 at the Red Bull Ring. You join me on my banker lap as we go over the line, posting a 106.573, but we're hungry for more. So turn 1 down into second gear, thanks Andre, and we go clip the apex there, not running too wide, keeping it within the track just, and back into high fuel. And then going to turn 2, down into lean mix, and then clipping the apex again, early on the power, and then opening the DRS with rich mix right away. And all these straights, very important to get good runs off the corners, because you're gonna lose major time there. Standard fuel, and then not really clipping the apex, but yeah, running wide on the exit so you can power down, rich, then back to standard, down to third gear here. And most people take it in fourth, game suggested as well, but third is better. Back into rich mix, only down to thousands. I go into standard here. Last lap I went here in high and I ran wide. So standard better, turn in, better hook in, and as you can see, no losing the back end on the exit of the last corner. So you're over the line, posting a 106.487, and in the end the scoreboard says an 88. Fine with me, it's pole and good enough. Andre follows us closely with a 106.769, very impressive, followed by Thomas with a 106.940. Then 107's Burkhoff. We go down the list, Granu in 5th, Double D 6th, AOR him is 7th, then we have Nick No Name in 8th, Whiskey in 9th, and then Kinsby rounds up the top 10, and as down the list you can see. Let's go racing. Alright, it is race time, and we are here in Austria for AOR Season 9 Round 8, starting on the best spot of the grid, all the way at the front, pole position, with Andre right on our gearbox. Let's hope we get a clean getaway. As we see the lights come on, we have 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. Have a great launch off the line here, and we go through turn 1 in third just to make it a little more stable. Nice and easy there, getting into the rhythm of the race and going into Rich right away on the first straight, because we don't want Andre, of course, onto our gearboxes too closely through this corner. We run a little bit wide, but so does Andre. Cars are all a little heavy with fuel, and there's also less grip on the first couple of laps. So just to be safe, into lean here, and very tricky grip wise. Also with your car being a lot heavier. And into third through this corner, which is good. A lot of stability, as you could see.
We've got some.
And then fifth gear, feather the throttle rather than plow it down. And as you could see, a standard mix here, but regardless of that, we go into 6th gear instead of 5th. So all other gears here, people, and that's because gears that matters. Turn in, and then lap 2. Nice commentary so far. Here we go. We have 8 tenths to Andre, which is not good enough. So we skip to the end of lap 2, where you can see Andre a glimpse in the mirror where the gap will be 1 second and a little over it, which would mean if we do good on this first corner, which it looked decent, but Andre's looked better, we should be able to break his DRS here, hopefully, because if not, we are going to have him stuck within DRS the whole time. He has 9 tenths on us, but I don't believe that he had a good exit there. So hopefully his DRS won't really help him on this little straight. As we turn up the pace here, trying to get away, because I know I am faster through this sector than him, because he is running 1-1 wings and I am running 2-2, which is better in my opinion. But everyone is entitled to his own opinion and flavor, hence driving style. 1.4 seconds to Andre now at the end of lap 3, so this looks good, but we go over the bump, so we have to slow down a little just to make sure that the gap is still 1.4 going over the line, which it is. So I didn't gain any advantage from that corner cut, because I don't want to win that way. We are still in rich, because we are trying to build this gap as much as possible, because I don't want him to be holding me up in the first pit stop either, should we pit on the same lap. So rich mix is the taste of this stint, and by switching it up into lean and sectors like this, where I do go off the curb a little bit, there should be a nice little conservation part for us, but mostly rich mix. And I believe on this lap I even dare not to I do change it for these last two turns. Sometimes I forget, but I do feel that midway through the corner, and I can't be fully on the power then either. So if you take corners with a certain speed, then so lap 9 and we are still in first place, but there's already a car ahead of us, and I wonder who it is. It looks like the same color as my car, so my teammate must have had a terrible first stint, because we are already lapping him here. And I think I get DRS here. Yes, I do. We go into rich regardless, just to pull away from him a little bit, because I do believe he already pitted. And he is on the primes, which are technically a little slower, but our tires are much older. So yeah, he can't really overtake us now. He's technically a back marker, which is very sad for him, because he was really close to me in the championship. And from what it looks now, he's not going to even finish within the points, because there's 14 people in this race this week. And pretty good turnout. There's only 2 people missing, which are Ryan L83 this time, and I think Crookie. So both Red Bulls not racing this week at the Red Bull Ring, ironically. And lap 10, we skipped the lap 10, but we do decide to skip the pit stop here. We still have Hamish behind us, but he has fallen back a little bit, I think on purpose. But we decide to stay out, but as you can see, we're basically crawling through these corners now in lean. So I kind of regretted staying out, because as you can see, I'm even shifting down to get turn in here, still running wide. So these tires were kind of hitting the cliff, so not too happy. So into the pits here, taking the proper line, but we lose the back end here and lose a little bit of our wing, which will mean that our pit stop is going to be a few seconds longer now. So a 6.194 second pit stop, which hopefully will still put us ahead of Andre. You can see Burkhoff is in second at the moment, but he's behind me in the pits. Also Double D is there, and you can see Andre comes through the first corner only now. So there's still plenty of gap between us, at least 4 seconds. So we can start building on that. We know that he switched to the prime tire a lap ago. And with 4.6 gap and a lap fresher tires, there shouldn't be any problem staying ahead of him in this stint. So we skip to lap 25 and we have our second back marker ahead of us, and I wonder who it will be this time. It looks to be a white spoiler there, like a white wing, and it's our friend Kenisby. And he lets us through here on this little straight. We have a bad exit, also our tires are crap, so it takes us a very long time to pass him. And probably if he just went full throttle, we wouldn't even have passed him. Because this is actually our pit lap, lap 25. And as you can see, I'm going in lean through the sector, because the grip really isn't there anymore. And also these prime tires are a lot slower in comparison. So we line up to the right side of the road again. Hopefully we get a good entry this time. The tires aren't as fucked as those options were. We get a nice entry into the pit, and the car ahead of us goes off a little bit. Looks like a DH from Team Lotus, and we are about to lap him. Maybe we can overtake him in the pit stops here. Let's see. Going on to the options for the final 10 laps. We do hold up the Lotus, as you can see, but he probably lost a part of his wing. That's why his pit stop was a lot longer. And we exit now again in first place. And it seems like Andre pitted as well, I think. And Burkhoff is also pitting, I think. Not sure what's happening here, but we are still comfortably ahead of Andre, and DH decides to call it a day. So on to lap 27, we have 14.9 seconds to Andre here and still have +1 lap of fuel. So I think this is the fastest lap of the race for me. That's why I skipped it on lap 27. So this is the first hot lap out of the pit stops, I guess, on the last stint with the faster tire. So it should give us a good lap time here, and let's see what we can make of it. So we do quality lap here with the right amount of fuel mixture in all the sectors, making sure we have the best turn in and the best traction. So we go a little deep on that corner, but that does give us nicely the apex here. And then around the fast right-hander into fast fuel mixture again. And actually staying fast here. Why? I don't know. But I am still getting away with it. And there we go. A 107.6. So on to lap 28 here at the end. Let's see what the gap is. 15.796 seconds, so we managed to stay nicely ahead. We also go purple, just a tiny bit, 500s. I don't know why I didn't include that lap, but that's alright. We have Mini Black right behind us, because we actually lapped him a lap ago. But since he is on sort of the same quality tires here, he's kind of sticking to me at the moment in my slipstream. So even though he's a back marker, he still has very good pace here, and if he was just a little more up there at the start of the race behind a few faster guys, I am sure that he would have been able to keep up with someone who's, for instance, half a second quicker. You can still stay behind them in the slipstream and make sure that you keep up within the DRS zone. So that's always nice, and yeah, we do give him some DRS here, I assume, on a couple of laps. But lap 35, end of lap 35, going for the penultimate time over the line. So the last lap we are on. We still have a car relatively close behind us, but this time it is brand new, I can tell you, because we lapped him a couple of laps later. And we are here going through the first sector the last time, going green on our last lap, but let me assure you that's not on our fastest lap in the stint, because as you can see our tires are starting to look a little sad with some flat spots on there, which is purely visual, I can tell you, but it does make us go a little wide here in lean, but we are 19 seconds ahead, so we might as well pit stop again and still win. And Andre also has a full pit stop on Burkhoff, his teammate, so they are both doing very great in this race. I mean, a double podium for one team is more points than what Mercedes is going to be getting in this race. So constructors wise, not too bad at all. So the final corner as we approach the line. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
The power is yours!